So the process of curating this show kind of started with the idea that we wanted to exhibit all of the works that had been acquired through the class acquisitions projects. But from there, it was pretty open-ended. We weren't sure if we wanted to approach this as a class-by-class kind of review, a retrospective of the project, if you will, or really get more into detail about the themes that emerge. And this summer, we asked Persia Liu, who recently graduated from SCU, to really take the helm and lead us in that decision and curate how we were going to present this kind of disparate collection of works. There's a lot of overlap in themes across the works, but also a lot of differences. So Persia was really leading the effort to research the works, think through what the classes were all about and what the pieces say together, and generate not kind of hard and fast divisions between the works, but some groupings that would allow us to explore the issues throughout. And then working with Kelsey Alinsky and Annika Singh, we did some further analysis and continued the process of developing both the physical exhibition that you'll see and the virtual components.
The process for choosing works to purchase was so interesting, especially just being a student. I believe I was a sophomore, so I didn't have much experience with real world, processes or jobs or acquisitions or anything. I came in just as an art student, and this class really walked you through every aspect of it. We not only learned about the artists and their work and their method and just everything behind the various pieces that we were talking about, but then we were able to kind of not argue with each other, but work with each other to really say, I think that we should do these 5 pieces because they really work together and the message really works together, and the individual artist has such a great character behind them. I loved Sarah Sense's use of the weaving patterns. I find it to be so phenomenal. Just the way, I never would have thought about that, is cutting up multiple pieces and weaving them together in a very traditional style of weaving that she used within her culture. I think it's a beautiful mending of multiple things in this world. It's just phenomenal. It's something that I always, whenever I walk into the museum, I love to see it. It's, when I think about my experience, it's probably the image that I most resonate with.
In the future, I would really love to establish an acquisitions fund, kind of a specific budget fund for the museum, so that we can more regularly do these class acquisitions projects and have other opportunities for collecting with the campus community. Again, so that we can really be specific and intentional about the work and the growth of the collection. There are amazing pieces that have been offered to us by donation. I don't mean to say that we haven't been able to create a wonderful collection with those donations, but it doesn't allow us to go out and really fill in areas of the collection that we would like to grow, or areas where we feel that artists have not been represented historically. And that's a lot of the work that we're trying to do with these class acquisitions projects.
I'm so thankful for my experience working with the Days to Say on this acquisition project, and it wouldn't be possible without the contributions of so many people, including the Hearst Foundation, the Chiva Grant, and so many just individual donors, and that's truly incredible, and I'm so happy that I had this experience, and I hope that these donations continue so that students beyond me and the current students will have similar experiences.
So I use Kunlinge's California wildfires today in my Fabricating Nature class. I always tell the students that it was part of that student purchase, even though I feel a little bad that they can't go and purchase artworks in these iterations of the class. But it's a really interesting image to start the class out with, to just have them look at the image without the title and to decode what's happening for themselves. And then we talk about this idea of a landscape out of kilter, and people and landscapes being equally vulnerable. And then also this idea of human complicity in destroying the landscape.
So what does it mean to me to have student-selected artwork on show? Well, as an art history student, I found that in a lot of my art history classes that some of the most interesting and insightful contributions to our class discussions actually came from students who weren't from art history or studio art disciplines and came from a lot of different majors across all the different schools. And I think We Are All Sacred as an exhibition of artwork selected by students across different disciplines really encapsulates how interdisciplinary work from students across campus just adds to the richness of art. And in that way, I think this exhibition is special because really any student from any major can come visit the exhibition and find a piece or a group of works from a class that really resonates with them.
I'm really excited to have these student acquisitions on display and have them not only works that were selected by students, but also then curated by students, and to really envision this whole exhibition as a student-centered project. For the museum, we are part of a university community, and we really, really work to centralize our students in that experience. We've tried some new projects over the past few years, and there's certainly other areas that we want to continue to grow. And I think this particular exhibition really speaks to kind of where we are in that process and how we want to continue to engage students throughout the process of not just learning about museums, but really being involved in museums. They're selecting works for our collection, which will then lead to the exhibitions that we can show. It will lead to the programming that we can do. And then when we present those programs and present those exhibitions, to really work with students to understand how best to present and share that knowledge with their peers. It's a really great exchange, a unique opportunity that we're able to do as a university museum, and just so important to the work that we're doing overall to bring transparency to the museum practice in the field. And again, the history of collecting art. There's a lot to be discussed, and the more we can involve our students in it, not only is this a learning opportunity, but it really changes what our museum can be and hopefully other museums will look to be in the future.